Yeah, the sign painter.
Oh, yeah. Well, we got a sign, but we're
Yeah.
telling now.
It's too fancy. I thought it was some sort of like stylistic choice. You could only read it face on, like a polarized lens or something.
Yeah. It's either like, well, I'm here for you or Kevin Park. Good morning, everybody. This will be the Commissioners Court on May 13th, 2025. And let's all rise for the invocation by Pastor Trevino.
Thank you for the invitation. Thank you for the honor of being here and honoring our judge, the commissioners in our city. Let's bow our heads. We'll have a scripture I want to read before we get started, if it's okay. I exhort, therefore, that first of all, supplication, prayer, intercession, and giving of thanks be made for all men and women, for kings and for all that are in authority, that we may lead a quiet and peaceable life in all godliness and honesty. Father, in the name of Jesus, we thank you for this opportunity, this privilege. Thank you for the invitation. Thank you, Lord, as we put this meeting in your hands, that you'll lead us and guide us to make the right decisions, oh God, not just for us, but for the city and our community and the surrounding. We pray for the president. We pray for the authorities. We pray for every person, every man, every female that is in authority making decisions, judges, oh God, governors, commissioners, everything you would have us to do to be able to live peacefully and quietly in the mighty name of Jesus Christ. Thank you. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which stands
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag, pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you, Pastor Carino. That's very nice. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Okay, number 4, let's go. This is rocket docket time. Here we go. Special Commissioners Court minutes of April 22nd.
I move to approve the minutes from April 22nd as presented.
Okay, everybody's fighting over a second. Motion and a second. Motion and a second to approve the Special Commissioners Court meeting of minutes of 22 April. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Number 5, public comments. Any public comments this morning? Remember, all compliments come to me and then all complaints go to Commissioner Ortega. All right, number 6, Mr. Bill Bench, you want to come on up and?
I do. Well, for you, some of y'all know me, some of you don't. We ranch out here east of town, and I have a couple of questions I'd like to get answered. I talked to Reuben, I guess, March the 27th. Reuben called, visited, asked me how much rain we got on our side of the mountain. We had pretty good rain, a little over an inch of rain. Reuben said, well, good, we're gonna send the blade out. They're gonna come bring it this evening, gonna blade Friday. They don't usually work on Friday. Reuben said, well, you're working today. So they come out there and work Friday, again Monday. And they park, they got 4 miles in. It's 9 miles to our ranch from down Benj Road. Well, they got about 4 miles in, got the Citizens Schoenfelds and parked it. Left it there 3 weeks. Through 3 rains. 2 rains besides the one that Reuben and I talked about. Well, we're at the other ranch. We come back in. Hell, the blade's gone. I thought, well, we had a good rain the day before. They come picked it up and moved it. And I want to know why. You know, I know when it's dry, you got to be there day and a half. You run out of moisture. I thought, well, we got 2 good rains. They'll come crank it and come do something with it. They never did do nothing with it. So I got a little aggravated. I called Reuben. I said, man, where's the blade? He said, well, we had to have it at the other end of the road. Well, I don't know what end of the road it was, but it wasn't there. They just come picked it up and took it. We'd had 2 rains, washed pretty good. Just pretty aggravated, you know. If there hadn't been a blade there, if it was down south or if it was somewhere else, I wouldn't be aggravated at all. But it sat there 3 weeks and was never moved, never cranked, never done nothing with it. And then the day we get the good rain and we think he's going to come blade the road, they come get it and move it and take it somewhere else. I want to know if he told you, Reuben, that that he had finished blading that road after you told him to. He made 4 miles out of an 18-mile road from Benj through Mills Road. Both of them are horrible, hadn't been bladed in right at a year, ours about 10 months. Mills Road hadn't been bladed even before that because it hadn't had much rain. I get that. But when they take it the day we get the good rain and take it somewhere else, we got 3 families live out there. I got 6 kids we drive to the bus every morning, every day. Weekends the same way. They're playing basketball, football, everything. And they come get it and take it. I want to know where they took it. Evidently, wherever they took it's more important than me and my 3 families. And if they told you that he drove that road and it was in good shape when he took it and left. You know, he had 3 weeks to do the job. You told him to go blade the damn road, Reuben. And he didn't. They bladed 4 miles out of an 18-mile road and then left it. Left it parked for 3 weeks. Didn't move it. I mean, I get it. They're busy. It's a pretty big county. But if there hadn't been a blade there close, I wouldn't be here aggravated at all. But it was sitting right there.
We moved it to and went South County with it. And I mean, I understand you're mad. We got to hit everybody with a little bit of everybody, you know.
They didn't hit it, Reuben.
I know, but we went left to go get some more stuff. I mean, I'm sorry.
It'd been there 3 weeks and nobody cranked it. Nobody did nothing in 3 weeks.
We don't have that many operators, and we built a pad for deal interlingua. I mean, we're trying to get that, we're trying to get word to everybody.
I know.
I mean, I'm
It's,
sorry that you're aggravated.
Well,
I gave you time to come talk, you know, I mean,
well, I wanted to know if he told you, you said, well, he drove that road. He said he drove it today. What, and I want to know if he told you, you knew that he didn't blade 4 miles of that 18-mile road. Did you know that?
well, he just told me he got to what he could get done that day.
What he could get done that day? Well, it sit there forever, you know,
I understand.
through 2
but
rains and it
We've got a
was.
small crew and we gotta
I
make.
get that. I know how many guys he got. And you got 3 blades. I guess 2 of them are down there and you had 1 out here, right?
Well, one of them broke right now, but.
Yeah, you know, I know how hard it is. You gotta be there on the spot. When it rains, you gotta blade it where you got the moisture. I get that. But when it sat there 3 weeks and it doesn't even get cranked and moved, even the 4 miles he bladed, he didn't even drive down there, Reuben, to see where the moisture was. He started blading on the end of the road you told him to. It was drier than heck. So he started blading it, couldn't blade it. He goes back to town and gets a damn water truck. Is that right?
Sure.
And bladed how many miles of the road with the water truck? Instead of driving down there where the water was still standing in the road and blade the part that had been washed. You got something?
Am I at the top? Or no?
No.
No? All right, well,
Well,
That's it.
my question is, where are we now?
huh?
Where are we now on the road?
Well, I get mad every time I drive the road, but until now, I mean, he's out there blading on the road now. They moved the equipment back finally.
So we're getting the road bladed right now. Or
Yeah.
Some of it.
Well, he's blading at it, you know, I mean, he's hitting the high spots and that's, you know, that's all y'all can do. You got a pretty short crew. You don't have a whole lot of time to do it. But, you know, when you get 2 rains down there and nobody even drives the road to kind of see, you know, that's why I'm aggravated. Just sit there for 3 weeks and you look at it, you know, if the blades were down south, I get that. You don't have time to get it down here and blade the road. But when it's right there, 3 miles from the house, Reuben asked him to go blade that road is 18 miles and it bladed 4 miles of the road. It's still horrible. The road going out Mills Road, we drive it 2 to 4 times a week going to the other ranch out the other way. You know, we drive that road 5 or 6 times a day, bringing kids back and forth to school and basketball and football. And it's just horrible.
Well, we appreciate your comments and
All right.
we're moving on. That's it. All right, number 7, presentation by Stephen Hummel, McDonald Observatory. Mr. Hummel? I think we got the plaque here somewhere.
All right, thank you for the invitation. Yeah, for those that don't know me, I'm Stephen Hummel. I'm the Dark Skies Initiative Coordinator for McDonald Observatory up the road. I'm here today to present a formal certificate certifying the courthouse as a night sky friendly location. So collaboration with Greg Hennington and others here, we retrofitted pretty much every light here, outdoor light at the courthouse to be in compliance with Brewster County's outdoor lighting code. So the courthouse is officially compliant. We placed all the lighting outside. Those no pole mounted lights look great, as well as everything else on the building. So this is a great service, not just to the county, but to the region. As I'm sure you all know, the Brewster County, about 2/3 of all the visitors to the region participate in a stargazing program during their visit. So it's a major tourism driver of stargazing, and implementing good lighting practices helps preserve that activity and local economy, as well as wildlife and safety. So thank you all so much for your support. And again, you're now an official night sky friendly location. So we will make a social media post from our account highlighting that. And in the future, there'll also be a press release with this location listed, as well as some others in the area highlighting the efforts. So thank you again for your support.
Thank you for the recognition. We appreciate it. You know, it's interesting. I was talking to the park superintendent during spring break. They started running some star parties down there and they were expecting like 65 or 70 people. They got 250 people showing up for a summer party. So it just tells you how the tourist economy really enjoys the dark sky. And so
Absolutely. Yeah, we had a start party in Terlingua a couple of weeks ago, a community one. It was on a Wednesday. Still 100 people showed up. So yeah, absolutely. It's a big tourism driver. Thank you guys so
Are
much.
you available
very
to
much.
work with the, will you be able to work with the cities and the county, people to, there's a law, ordinance coming up January, and to keep their lights compliant, do you have the time or the ability to work with them to?
That's my full-time job, yeah.
Okay.
So I work with many community members around here, the city, not just in Brewster County, but all of West Texas. So yeah, I believe summer of next year is when the existing lights are trying to get into compliance.
Yeah, the grace period will end, right?
The grace period,
Mhm.
yeah.
Right, is what it starts January 1st, 2025?
It's not January,
I
it's
mean, 2026,
5 years from the adoption date.
Yeah.
okay,
I think that I don't remember exactly.
right,
It was 2021, I think in the spring or summer.
right.
they've got resources too.
Right.
Either advice or they have access to places you can get the right fixtures and bulbs. And
Mhm.
so there's plenty of resources to help get that done.
Yes.
So my role is to kind of be a bridge between, instead of enforcement or just complaining to your neighbor, I can be that bridge and help
Yeah.
get a property into compliance easy way.
Okay, great. Good deal.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate it very much. All right, I don't see anybody from the city of Alpine here today, so we'll move on to number 9, recognitions and announcements. Anything from the court, recognitions and announcements?
I do. I had kids a marathon win and competed in tennis. And took 3 kids, Annalise and Sadie, in the doubles, girls doubles, and they placed 3rd and made it to state.
Fantastic.
And Alyssa Garcia won regional. And she goes to state as well. This week they go like San Antonio.
Austin, San Antonio.
San Antonio, yes, sir. They leave tomorrow and they play Thursday. My niece got a bye on the first round because she won regional. So she got 2 games to win and to make it to the final.
Nice.
That would be awesome if she could have medal wherever. But just to be there, that's pretty admirable.
Pretty special.
Of the girls and their coaches to get them that far.
Yeah, awesome. All right. Anything else?
I have a dump day report.
Dump day. All right.
It was May the 3rd, and we went from 9 to 3, and we had that, we were gonna close it at 2:45, so I left, and we had 66 people show up, which is over double what we had last year. And I saw 3 or 4 more trucks coming out, pickup trucks with stuff, so I'm pretty sure they let them into it.
Commissioner, anything?
I would like to say that the Terlingua robotics team, they competed at the
Yes,
state
well, they did.
championship on Saturday. They got 10th place overall.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, we had a little watch party at the mobile library.
Yeah.
They got that big television in there, and it was a lot of fun. We watched them compete, and I was really proud to see the Terlingua kids performing in Corpus Christi. They did a great job.
Very good. I've got one item, and that's tonight. So we've got a bear population that has come back into our community. I got some video yesterday from Turk of another bear.
Yeah.
Big old male bear.
7 feet.
Yeah, he's a big boy. He's not collared. We got him on game cameras. He's up in our neck of the woods, up in Double Diamond. So tonight at the Alpine Auditorium over at the old elementary school, there's a presentation from 6:30, and it starts at 6:30 about bears. They're here to stay. How do we work together with the bears? And that's largely, making sure we're not feeding the bears, because that's what they're after. And somebody said they're just big raccoons,
Yeah.
big lazy raccoons. And so what they want is food. And so if you've got dog food on your back porch, they're going to come find it. So anyway, for anybody that's interested, that bear outreach presentation, it's put on by Texas Parks and Wildlife, is tonight at 6:30.
Have they come up with a name for the new bear?
No, haven't heard. Big boy, I think.
They're not calling Greg.
They've got him really close up on him. He's a nice looking bear.
It's got good quality trash.
Constituents.
Is that right? Yeah, I've got him a video. He's on somebody's back porch. He's not, he's just,
Wow.
is that who that was? Okay. But he's just wandering. I mean, where he's looking for food, but
Yeah.
he wasn't tearing anything up. It's just,
But if he's getting in close to humans and getting on porches, that's a sign that he's a little too comfortable around
If
people.
you come and find him in your lazy boy, you got something.
Yeah. That's never a good day when you come downstairs and there's a bear lounging in your living room.
okay, any other announcements this morning? All right, moving on to number 10, County Judge Report. 10A, so you guys remember we had a sort of a surprise billing earlier this year for 39,000 and some change for some indigent defense. James and I were in a meeting recently, and the head of the TIDC for state of Texas suggested that we might consider applying for an emergency grant. They have a bucket of money that's largely used for capital murder cases, but they have a little excess, and so there's a chance that we may be able to get that 39,000 back. So we're finishing up the application today. We'll submit it. We won't know until June when they have their annual meeting. But hopefully keep our fingers crossed that we might be able to get that money back, because that was a hit to our budget. And it'd be nice to get that back, James. Yeah.
Commissioners, if you remember, this was a case that my office could not take. It was a conflict case, and so it had to go to a private bar. I know that that was a big hit to the county, and Judge Henningsen had come to me several times asking if there's anything if there's any money out there. And so I think I've been trying my best to work with him to get this money back to the county some way or another. I'm crossing my fingers that this can happen. Judge Henningsen put together a pretty good grant application, and my fingers crossed this will get done. So thank you, Judge Henningsen, too.
All right, so that, on item 10B, just FYI, probably everybody knows this by now, we have termites in the Valverde complex. And they're there today, crawling up under the crawl space for the termites is right in the middle building where the election office is. The other two offices are concrete.
There's that slab, right?
Well, they're concrete footings,
Concrete footings.
so there's not an issue there, but it's that middle. So they're fixing that today. We've kind of rushed that through to get that done. So just FYI. All right, number 11 is discuss and take action to ratify a lease agreement between Brewster County and the U.S. Army regarding the rental of a room at the Alpine Emergency Services Building. We have two representatives for the First U.S. Army Battalion. They conduct a sick bay for their soldiers whenever someone needs to be looked at for medical reasons. And they've asked if they could rent a room at the fire station from us for 6 months. What is so $500 a month for 6 months. Only the officers will have access, or the people who are actually providing the care. It's not open. It's not a free for all, but they'll have access. And this is just a lease agreement to seal that deal. You want to add anything to that? Anything changed since we last talked?
No, John, nothing's changed. I just want to express my gratitude that you guys are open to this and for the gracious support of Chief just now. So, thank you.
Make a motion to move forward on that.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The other thing that the Army is nice enough to do is I guess I saw the container. Is it there now? Yeah, so y'all brought in a container full of weights for weightlifting, right?
Oh,
And so they're kind enough to let our firefighters use that workout facility as well. So thank you for letting our guys use that. So, county judge hadn't been over there yet. All right. Thank you all. We'll get that signed into you today. Okay. All right.
Lawyer, the attorney.
Yeah. Discuss and take any action, number 12, declare Brewster County a drought disaster county. I've given you guys some literature here on your desk, and it's also on the agenda. I attended with Chachi and some other folks the other day who attended a meeting from the USDA. What is the name of that? What is the name of y'all's group? Yeah.
The Farm Service Agency.
Farm Service Agency, okay.
Yes.
And I think we all know this. We've been looking at the drought maps for a while. Governor has declared our county, among other counties, Presidio and Jeff Davis, and other counties, a severe drought. We've been in a D4 drought, which is the worst of the worst for about a year now.
Yeah, over 40 weeks.
Over 40 weeks, okay. So they asked us if we would consider doing something at the county level. We said absolutely. So this is a little bit of a belt and suspenders. I'm not sure what the benefits are. At this point, we don't know that there's any particular government loans or grants that come out of
Some
it,
more assistance through the FSA, right?
but it could help us. And
Yeah.
so I think in support of our agricultural community and our ranchers, I think it's important that we recognize this along with the governor, who has already recognized Brewster County and declare Brewster County a drought. I'll second. Motion and second. Any discussion? Presidio County and Jeff Davis will follow this week, most likely with a similar resolution. And then we may do a joint. Maybe the three judges will go together and do a joint resolution or something, and just if it helps. So,
Okay. I think the other thing is we have to figure out how to raise the awareness in everybody, whether you're a rancher or, you grow something or whatever. Watering your lawn, washing your car. Right now, we're in a pretty serious situation. And it, according to the weather, it's not gonna get much better for a while. And so maybe people have to get in the habit of, water your lawn every 5 minutes or every, week or whatever it is. Or you don't wash your car. I mean, all of that is water and all that takes away from the groundwater. When we lose that groundwater, which we are in danger of losing, then we got a problem. It affects every walk of life, tourism, everything, not to mention ranching, but it affects everything that has anything to do with water or any needs of water.
all right. Motion.
So I'm in.
Oh, you second. Okay. Oh, that's right.
They were very
Sorry.
fast.
Okay. If there's no further discussion, all in favor of declaring Brewster County a drought disaster county, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Great. All right, number 13, a discussion and take action regarding final plat approval for the ranches at Well Creek subdivision. This has been on the agenda for a while. Let me give you guys an update on this. These are some guidelines that I'm suggesting that in addition to, as part of the approval, that this language and these guidelines are included as part of the plat that deal with 911 addressing septic tanks, roads, and then water. And we would put this large bold on the plat itself. So it would be stamped. Anytime somebody bought a piece of land, they would know that water is, it's out there, but it may or may not be available.
My question was on item number 4. Is that something, I've never seen that language before. I've never seen it explicitly written like that. I was wondering if we're dead certain we can ask for that.
Well, two things. That was created by your county judge from thin air.
I kind of thought so.
And
It's very reasonable. I'm not disagreeing with it at all. I just want to make sure
I
we're
sent
not
this to them
authorized.
and said this are the conditions. And they wrote me back and said, we very much appreciate it and we're totally happy with that.
Okay.
They think it's a good marketing in a sense that
That there be water there.
there.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So they're, whether we could truly enforce it,
Okay.
I don't know, but at the end of the day, they were very agreeable to that.
Awesome.
We won't see those for quite a while until we see structures out there. But
Yeah.
Yeah,
How large are these tracts?
they're all over 10 acres.
Okay.
What's thrown this thing into the subdivision is that there are like, what, 4 tracts that are between 6 and 10 acres. Thank you, guys. There are 4 tracts between 6 and 10, and why they did it, I don't know, but they didn't have to cut, they didn't have to do a subdivision because all the tracts except for 4 of them were over 10 acres. But it threw them into subdivision, so that's what this is about. I think what happened is they surveyed it, cut it up into a few, and they ended up with a few small tracts, and then didn't want to spend the money to resurvey
Redo it,
it.
yeah.
And so I think that's kind of why they did it this way.
And this plat is already, it's on the books or?
It's been in, we have pre-approved the plat, and this is, we've waited our 21, you have to wait 21 days under our regulations, and we've been well over that. And this is the final approval.
Yeah, thank you. We've got lots of issues in Presidio County too with all this, so I actually downloaded y'all's document and I believe you're gonna be updating it.
Yes.
Yeah, because we're gonna put a policy in place. We've got this going on.
Once the legislature finishes meeting soon,
Right.
we'll know what kind of,
3 weeks.
we'll know what kind of sausage they made on subdivisions, and then we're gonna.
They like to change the rules every couple of years.
I'll make a motion to approve the final plat for, the Will Creek subdivision.
I will second the motion.
All right, motion and a second, subject to these requirements, right, guys?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Okay.
What's the,
Mhm.
on the second back page,
Yep.
who is the county department that does the inspection?
That's us, that's
Septic. Marshall McLean.
McLean. All right, motion is second to take action on the ranches at Well Creek subdivision. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Okay, great. All right, number 14, discuss and take action to approve a request for unclaimed property capital credits. Every year, we get a slug of money from the comptroller for unclaimed capital credits, which is largely capital credits from Rio Grande Electric. It's our cooperatives that operate in our county. And when that, then I'll give you an example. So when we sold Far Flung, we had a meter with Rio Grande Electric for 30 something years. We're entitled to dividends from Rio Grande Electric because as a cooperative, you're a member, right? They're way behind. They're still paying dividends from the 90s.
Yeah.
Okay. And so what happens is people do not change their addresses. And so after 2 years, if they don't claim their dividend, usually it gets escheated to the state. But the law on this one says it comes to the county. And it goes into a fund of which we have about $230,000 in a fund right now. It can be used, can be used for economic development and a few other things.
Infrastructure, I hope.
So anyway, all we're doing is agreeing to accept some more money from the comptroller. And I can't imagine we would turn that down.
So moved.
Second.
We don't know what it is, by the way.
No,
We don't know until we get the check.
it trickles in like pennies, right?
It comes in a slug in June
Mhm.
or July. All right, motion is, who seconded?
I did.
Okay, motion is second. All in favor, say aye. Okay.
I'm a member of the co-op as well. And I'm like, well, by the time I'm 60 years old, I might be able to get some.
They're paying them, I have heard they're gonna start paying those a little bit
A
faster.
little earlier.
All right, number 15, discuss and take action to approve the $5,000 settlement on Fanova Capital Cascade Leasing for credit card processing equipment. This is hopefully this brings this whole saga to an end. This is the credit card machine that we were gonna initiate to take hot taxes. We didn't do that.
That's a long time ago.
We turned the machine back in. They do have the machine. They were claiming we owed them $15,000. We said, no, we don't. It's been kind of a back and forth for a couple of months. We did have the machine. And so we do, we owe something. And so I offered, subject to y'all's approval, a $5,000 settlement that's done out of our way. So it's sort of distasteful, but I don't know what else we're gonna do.
These machines are like new in box.
Yes,
I think.
they were new in box when we got them, and they were new in box when we
Never
sent
took
back.
them out of the
Never
box.
took them out of the box.
That's a hell of a restocking fee.
Yeah, they were under a lease, is
Right.
what this was.
So moved.
Yeah,
I'll second that.
motion is second. Okay, thank you. We won't give them the money until we start negotiating a release. Because I want to be released, everything in the county and people all released from any more claims. Short of that, a motion is second. All in favor, say aye.
I,
Oh, wait, did anybody notice the lighting?
yes,
Yes, good, nice.
Thing.
you could perform surgery in
Very
here.
bright compared to what it used to be.
My glasses are darkening.
Oh, you're good, the auto darkening lenses kicking in.
All right, number 16, discuss and take possible action to approve the revised contract for accounting services. Patty Roach has been doing our audit task force, and this is her updated engagement letter.
Don't let her off.
Don't let her off, so that's how I agree. By the way, 22 is virtually done, literally done, and we'll have those shortly. 23 is cooking pretty fast. I think we'll be 23 in June-ish.
Probably maybe a little bit later in the summer on that one, and then the goal is 24 by the end of the year.
24 by the end of fiscal year. So good, and then we are caught up. Yay.
Are you gonna be able to do that while we're preparing the budget? or-
Yeah.
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 Sure,
Sure, just
sure.
while you're at it.
Well, I mean, the financial statements I showed you guys, I mean, it's just already way easier to do with the new accounting system.
We're
Anyway,
liking a new,
The software,
yes,
I love it.
Good.
It's still not totally set up the way it ultimately needs to be. Working on it, one of the things that I did this morning was go in and make sure now when you go in and look at your general ledger accounts, it's got the fund names in there instead of just the old fund number so that it's easier to read. There's some cleanup that I need to do. But the reporting, and that was one of the big things, was getting any kind of a usable report out of the old system was just
Pulling
a
teeth.
nightmare. And
Good.
so this one, we can get some good usable reports and hopefully get y'all some better information.
make a motion to move forward with the engagement letter.
I'll second.
motion is second to approve the engagement letter. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, number 17, discuss and take action regarding the application of Brewster County for the 26 Colonia grant. So we applied for the 25 Colonia grant. We did not make the cut.
Yeah, I saw
You'll
that.
see the data in here. We were close, but El Paso, imagine that, got a big chunk of it. So the folks that,
Next round will probably be there.
yeah, they suggested that we apply for the 26 grant. This will be 26 will be the last year that grant is a non-matching grant. So in 27 on, we'll have to put money in.
You gotta
This is
cough up
still a
some money.
non-match grant. I see no downside for applying for 26, so I'm asking y'all's approval to go ahead and apply for 26.
I move we apply for
Second.
2026 Colonial grant.
Motion is second to apply for the 26 Colonia grant. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, number 18, review, discuss, and take action to approve a 26 Western Star truck. Ruben, take it away, baby.
Well, we've gotten everything we're gonna get out of that, our haul truck. Is the more we use it, the more it costs. I mean, and it just seems like we're down a bunch with that thing and our plans are to be able to use the belly dump and more, so it's gonna take that truck to be able to haul and be able to use. We're trying to replace it with keep from using buying another dump truck.
Mhm.
So I think it'll move twice what those two dump trucks, or it'll take two dump trucks to move. So we need it. We need
Yeah.
that.
Well, that's one that's in El Paso.
Yeah, we got one in El Paso all the time, so
That's it.
it's not doing us any good in El Paso and it's costing us money. So it's
Mhm.
costing
And
us two ways.
we'll auction it off or.
Yeah, I didn't put, I forgot to put it on the, but I'll come back next meeting. I'll have it on the agenda so we can auction it. Put it on declare it salvage.
Yeah, this truck's, 177, 240 and 82 cents.
It's under a Bible.
And it's
Yes.
under a buy board. Johnny helped spec it out. So,
Y'all are happy with it?
Yes, sir. It's a manual transmission.
Is it being built or is it already on?
it's,
It's being put together, built.
Okay,
it should be ready next month.
they deliver it?
Yes.
It's a manual transmission?
Your last one was automatic, right?
Sir?
The one you just got a month or two ago was automatic?
Yes.
And the water truck's automatic.
You got guys that can drive a standard?
They do, and now,
I can drive the standard if you need it.
there you go.
I don't know how many gears it's got, but I'll figure it out. Just 10. No
So the
split case.
proposed funding for this is the LATCF, which we have sufficient funds in the LATCF. I think this is a great example of where it helps us. And you know, with this truck, we got one more thing that's kind of talked about, and that's your little sprayer thing, or what's it called?
The truck mounted distributor.
Yeah, that sprays the oil, right?
Yes, sir.
It's older than Methuselah and probably needs to replace.
It's about 20 years old, maybe older.
Okay, but if we get that, we get this truck, we've got a new dump truck. All your fleet is new.
Pretty well set.
You're in pretty good shape, right?
Yes, sir.
I'll make a motion to approve the quote for the 2026 Western Star.
I'll second.
Motion and a second.
And the truck that you're replacing is an 03 Peterbilt. And it's got a lot of miles on it. Every time we take it to El Paso, it's a $30,000 or $40,000 bill.
Yeah. Time to get,
So it's,
as I used to say.
It was used when we bought it.
Right.
It was hard when we bought it.
As I used to say, at far flung, drive it off a cliff. Right. So, all right, motion is second to approve 177,240.82 under a buy board contract for Western Star Truck. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
You opposed? Okay, great. All right, discuss and take. Yeah. Discuss and take action to approve a contract between Permian Care and Brewster County in the amount of 23.5. This is our annual funding from Permian Care to fund
Mental health officer.
a portion of a mental health deputy. It's coming from Permian Care to us. They just want a contract, so I make a motion that we accept the contract.
I'll second.
Third motion, second, and a third. All right, any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. Number 20, discuss and take action to approve a $20,000 performance bond for our new election administrator. Are you hitting the ground? Well, you're already hitting the ground pretty hard. Now it's all you.
There's not a lot with the legislature, so.
So the statutes require up to a $20,000 performance bond. This is a 2-year bond. She'll renew it in 2 years. Cost is $100 and something.
And we noticed yesterday there was an error in my name.
Okay.
They switched the R and the O in one of the spots, so I've already contacted them, and before lunch, she said she'll have it and they did it.
All right, so it's payable to the county judge and then just bring it to our office and we'll get it. Okay, motion, I got a motion.
I'll second.
You second, okay. Motion is second to approve the $20,000 performance bond. Discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Are you gonna, no, it's not on here, but are you gonna get a helper?
We have a posting for it.
Yeah,
You talk to anybody?
I have called I've gotten 2, the first one is also no.
Okay.
The second one is based on her resume, I would love to hire her. She has experience already with a different county. And I've called twice already, with no answer, so I was gonna call back and say, hey.
Yeah, so yeah, she's spearheading.
We're still hiring.
Still have open. Okay. All right, 21, discuss and take action to approve the following agreements to operate for the 25 Texas Community Block. And this is just paperwork that the TDA needs from us, from both Studi Butte Water and Marathon, is basically just an agreement that we're gonna work together on this block grant. Both of the water supply corporations will approve it on their side too, but this is approving on our side to operate
I'll make the
together.
motion for Studi Butte.
Okay. Motion to agreement to operate for Studi Butte for 25 community block grant. Any second? Okay, motion and a second. All right, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, how about Marathon?
I moved it. Yeah, I'll second.
All right, motion and a second to approve the agreement to operate for the Marathon water supply. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. Number 22, discuss and take action on 2 separate proposals. All right. Copiers.
Everyone's favorite subjects.
My favorite subject. All right, right now we have, the first thing I need you guys to do is approve. We have a number of large copiers that copy, scan, print, do everything. They're located in the sheriff's office. They're located in the treasurer's office, tax assessor's office. These are larger industrial machines. They,
Thanks, Johnny. Oh, okay.
Texas Office Solution has come to us with a consolidated contract. Right now, all these are on individual lease agreements, and we're gonna put it all under one. And and they were able to get our cost down from $292 a month to $216 a month, saving us about $138 a month for these machines. And the way they did it is we went to a pool, so we get 10,500 copies at a fixed color rate. And then, but every department gets allocated, but that one department can steal from the others. So if somebody goes over, it's all in a big pool. And it's gonna be $138 savings by putting all this together. I see no reason why we shouldn't do that to save some money.
Make a motion to approve.
And I do have charts on this if you're just dying to see the numbers.
Couldn't see the tiny print.
All right, motion, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, motion and a second to,
Is that all 4 items? Yeah, 4 items.
this, no, this is A and B.
It's A and B.
A and B,
Okay.
yes. I gotta come back to C and D because that's another.
All right.
So this is approval for, motion and second for A and B for the pool copier contract. If there's any discussion, no further discussion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Oh, you zoomed in.
Is that
Smart.
an aye for y'all?
Aye.
Aye for you, Jim. Aye. Next thing is, this is a little bit more detailed. So what we realized, guys, is we own the record for every conceivable printer that you can buy known to man, we own here in the county. We have desktops, we have lasers, we have Brothers, we have HPs, we have it all. All right. And so when I think I knew this intuitively, but the cost of printing on inkjet, that's why they give the printer away.
Yeah, it's the ink that costs money.
So it costs about 34 cents a page for an inkjet printer. A laser's about a nickel a page. That's how much cheaper it is. So I asked Total Office Solutions to come in and do an inventory of all of our printers. And a lot of our printers are end of life. So what's happened is that if we don't get a handle on this, we're ending up buying another Brother. And the bigger issue for me is the amount of ink cartridges we have lying around that we can't use because the printer is dead and then they don't make that model anymore. I've got a bet. I forget who I have the bet with. I have a bet with somebody for a steak dinner that we've got $10,000 worth of ink cartridges laying around the county. So Total Office Solutions has offered to come in, we'll have an initial, a little bit of a loss in the sense that all the printers on everybody's desk, these are not the big ones. Say my office instead, they would be replaced by a Xerox printer. So if I have
Like a centrally located?
if I have a color printer, I'm gonna get a color Xerox. If I have just a black and white, printer, I'm gonna just get a black and white printer. All of these Xeroxes will be on the network. So when the ink gets down to 10%, the machine just orders you another cartridge. All the cartridges are free as part of this plan. All the maintenance is free. So if one goes down, they just put another one in.
So is this inkjet to inkjet or inkjet to laser?
It's all gonna be laser.
Okay, so that's a toner cartridge, not an ink cartridge.
Yeah, you know what I say, inkjet?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a toner cartridge for the. Yeah, all of them will be lasers, much cheaper. So what does that mean? It means that we are paying right now 900, we believe, rough estimates, about $911 per month to maintain all these copiers. If we go to this new system with all Xerox, now all of them will be all Xerox, all under one lease agreement. It will increase our cost to $987. That's a $70 increase per month. But I think the offset is we don't have any more cost for toner. It just comes automatically. The machine knows when to order it. We don't have all that stacked up, and there's no service. So if it goes down, we call them up and get a new one. Or they send a repair guy. These things really don't break down much anymore, but when they do.
And that's pretty much a no-brainer though, right? I mean,
I think
as far as the ink cartridges or whatever.
yeah, I think that's the big savings for us, all these ink cartridges. You ought to see the basement over here we got.
You know, you can send them back to the manufacturer.
Well, that's
Can you put that on that surplus deal?
The plan would be to take all of these printers that we have now, put them on a pallet, take all the copier, all the toners, put them on a pallet, put it on the website and get rid of it. Somebody will buy it. We'll probably get the $70 a month back from selling all of them. I mean, we're not gonna get rich off of it, don't get me wrong, because they're used printers. Get a lot of storage, the ink. I'll get all those too. Some of that ink's so old that I don't know if it's even good.
Well, but I mean, he's saying that it'll be gone from there, from there being room for something else. Raccoon or something.
So my proposal to you guys is that we go ahead and make this switch over. And
How soon
then
can you do
think about it. We'll do it next 60 days.
Excuse me, Judge, just one note, and we can talk about it in more detail later. Twain compatible for the finance office, please.
Say again, I'm sorry.
Twain compatible for the finance office. It's
Okay.
needed to mesh with them. Cannot explain exactly what it is, but we need it to mesh with our software.
Well, they're actually gonna bring them, install them. They're gonna go office by office and put them in, working with Monty too, because we gotta make sure that we get.
But
the
what I'm
right-
saying is we just need to make sure that whatever printer they bring to install in, like say Julie's office,
It fits.
fits that compatibility. So,
Are they not gonna go by office and see what they got and what they need?
They already have. They did a study, they went office by
Okay.
office, and we know what we have and what we're gonna get. So everybody's gonna get a compatible printer. So if you have a desktop, you have a
I
desktop,
don't have one.
you don't have one, do you have a printer? Whatever printer you have, what is it, a color three-way printer?
No, it's HP LaserJet.
Okay, you're gonna get a Xerox LaserJet, just like what you have now, just a Xerox.
Mine's about 15 years old.
Mhm.
There you go.
Donna has like 2 or 3.
I'll make a motion that we upgrade our copiers across the board and we initiate a contract to do so.
So right now, there's gonna be just two types of ink, the 4 cartridge for the color and one for the black and white.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And all printers will be laser.
And the Twain is for image acquisition, if they're scanning something in that needs an image.
I don't know, okay.
Thank you.
You're like me.
Hey,
You have a little more knowledge on that than I do, but
is that Mark Twain or what?
it's spelled the same.
Yeah.
Grandson.
All right, I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Motion is second. Any discussion? All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you, guys. I think this makes a lot of difference. All right, 23.
And if you need a printer, keep an eye on that auction website.
Yes, yeah, if you need printers, yeah, you don't get just to buy one.
No, you have to take all of them.
The whole palette.
I'm not gonna spend the time doing them one by one. All right, number 23, discuss and take action on the following interlocal agreements for 25 tax collections. Honestly, guys, my office, I failed to get these on the agenda back in the fall. We're already operating under these interlocal agreements. This is just a late approval. I'll be back here in the fall with the 26 interlocal agreements, but these are for our tax collection agreements. The money that we take in
For everybody.
for everybody else.
And the copy paste of the previous year.
Well, it is, but here's the thing that's coming up. So when they wrote these interlocal agreements years ago, there was a formula in there.
Mhm.
And the formula has not been followed since, I think, the pandemic. My sense is that maybe during the pandemic, everybody was tight on budgets, and so we've just been increasing it 5% per year. Well, there's no provision in the agreement to do that, really. Everybody just kind of accepted it. But in some cases, some people are paying way less than what they should have paid under the formula. So I'm gonna scrap it this next year, bring you
Next
guys
year.
new agreements with a formula that makes sense.
That'll irritate a few people.
Yeah.
That's gonna irritate.
Just make sure they've got plenty of notice.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go visit with everybody because AISD is the big. And
And they're current right now, right?
they are current. The city is not, I noticed, but they're approving it in their meeting this week.
Mhm.
But anyway, I make a motion that we accept the 25 interlocal agreements.
I'll second.
We can do this all at once.
All at once?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
that's okay with y'all. Y'all okay doing this group?
Mhm.
Who's second?
Tomorrow.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you all. 24, Road and Bridge. Here we go. First question is, I need to ask you, does everybody have their uniforms?
No, sir. They were ordered,
I was told yesterday by the delivery guy that, was it Juan or Tomas? Somebody was still needing them.
Jose.
Jose, I mean.
Jose got him yesterday.
Okay.
And then I got, Juan ordered, Gomez, Gilbert, and
So you have 2 or 3 people that still need them.
there's 3.
Okay. Before you leave the courthouse, come by my office so I can send him a memo saying, get these shirts to us. I mean, I'm tired of monkeying with that. We are paying the lower amount now, but still, how hard is it? Or the
And
shirt?
the only difference is that the ones that Jose got yesterday, they have his name on them. Ours don't. So I don't know if you got the conversation crossways or not.
This is kind of like the credit card machine. It's a bad dream. All right, just come see me and we'll get it fixed. All right.
First of all, there's no permits. I did get a call from Johnny Marcus, late last night about a leak on Mosley Lane and Mosley Loop. They're working on it this morning. And then we had trash day in Marathon. It went good. We had, of course, was that the trash day in Alpine. And the guys finally moved the last load of trash from Terlingua.
Oh, we did. Yeah, because it was stacked up the other day.
They started moving it on April the 4th or the 7th. And they got done the 28th of April. It took them about a month to move everything.
Where's that bill?
So Johnny, the $11,000 bill we got from them, is that everything on Terlingua, or is there more coming that they haven't billed yet?
No, everything from Terlingua is already turned in.
And so it should be on that bill.
Yeah, so it's the last dump was on 4/29.
Which means, okay, so we're done on that.
So we're good.
Okay.
That was $11,000.
We started on Marathon this week, so it'll be a separate bill.
Okay.
And then you might get a bill from the city with the dump day in Alpine on May the 3rd.
Probably will. So did Marathon people come to the yard in Marathon and then it went to the dump, or did they just go straight to the dump?
No, they come to Marathon and dump it, and then we pick it up and, haul it. Like to Link.
I mean, this is kind of a dumb question, but why wouldn't Marathon do what like we do with Alpine, unless let them get to the dump and we pay for it?
There were some Marathon people that came to Alpine, well, maybe 30.
I mean, why are we moving it twice, I guess, for such a short distance?
Well,
I mean, I don't care, it's about that.
there's two things, I guess, maybe with plenty of notice, maybe it would work. But if you go down there at the gate and see the vehicles that come in there to all the stuff,
They're not roadworthy.
they're not roadworthy.
And not covered.
And then you're, I think the fine of not being covered.
Yeah.
Would be a bunch, cause I mean, there's a bunch of loads that
I
they,
think it's like $65 if it's not covered right. Per load.
What happened with Alpine? Did you have a lot of badly covered loads coming through Alpine?
Yeah. Badly and not covered.
Well, the only reason,
We took them all.
yeah, the reason they do that, I guess, is they don't road trash from the road down the
Yeah.
road, right?
Yeah.
But this is all heavy duty trash, right? It's not like it's household garbage coming in, is it?
No,
no household.
Yeah.
most of what I saw was heavy stuff, wire. That kind of stuff.
Most of it is wire, tin, sofas, old sofas, mattresses, brush.
Yeah.
You gotta see the pile in Marathon of just brush.
Some years in Terlingwood, we get a lot of brush as well, and you'll see it on the side of the road it fell off somebody's
Ungodly
trailer.
amount.
Tires,
Actually, we got more of it than we did of the mattresses and all that. Gilbert started hauling or, go ahead.
a lot of tires. We got a lot of tires.
Good.
If you show up there with an uncovered load and they say it's gonna be $65, oh, let me turn around and I'll park it at home. I mean, they don't have the authority to stop them there, do they?
I'm not sure on that, but they will get a citation for it if it's not covered. So,
But if they turn around and go home,
well, if they turn around and go home and go back, when it's covered, I mean, they won't charge you the.
so man, they're twice, but traverse the road twice uncovered.
Right, yeah, the thing is kind of silly about mine, I mean, I get it, they don't want, I mean, they can't enforce not covered outside the dump. It's only the dump that they can enforce that on their own road. And I get it, probably some does fall off the trailer and they don't want to pick it up, but it seems a little excessive to me. Like, what
So
the heck?
this is a county fine or fee.
It's a TDS fine.
Right, but
Now, you still could get cited by the sheriff's office if crap's falling off your trailer going down,
right,
Highway 90.
Are those uncovered fees gonna show up on our bill though?
Well, that was a question. Do we get charged?
I don't think so.
I think they get.
They waive that?
Yeah, I saw no.
They didn't
Picture
enforce
going,
it.
hey, it's not
Yeah.
covered.
But when you go on your own, it's.
Oh, yeah.
If you're on your own, you get hammered, yeah.
Special dump day waiver,
Waiver of cover. fee.
Yeah, I guess that's what it is.
Okay,
wouldn't count on it.
all right, go ahead, Johnny.
And then, we've got we had to bring in a maintainer to get service on it. We changed the oil on it, put some new tires on it, new cutting edges. And then we put some new cutting edges on the 120M. I did move the 120M from Bench Road to, where did I move it to?
Calamity Creek.
Yeah, Calamity, Ridgeline. I moved it to Ridgeline because it was too wet to work on Bench Road.
Right.
And then I made a note there, I was gonna go back after I finished Ridgeline. But in the meantime, Ruben got a call from Calamity Creek. Right, so we went ahead and did that one. And then when we got done with that one, is when I brought it in to get the blades, the cutting edges put on it. And moved it out to Bench Road, working on it yesterday, today, rest of the week. Also, we have, started on, Fulshire Road. Trying to do some repairs on Fulshire Road.
You spread out the asphalt milling.
They're gonna start, spreading that and rolling it in, watering it in, rolling it.
People are gonna start asking for that on other roads now.
Well,
Ready for
you know
that.
what? I think it's, the dirt part of it is gonna be awesome. The dust part of it's gonna be.
Yeah,
great
definitely
control.
keep down the dust.
Already getting complaints, and Johnny is too, about people are gonna be driving,
Too fast.
yeah.
I mean, people
Yeah, I
are
mean, you
complaining
just-
you hung them with a new rope.
Yeah, I mean, it's a no-win deal, but we are making it better, passable. Trying to make it completely all weather.
Yeah,
Which is gonna be a big blessing there. I mean, through the years, we made it a canal.
yeah. Anything you can do to build it up instead of making it
So, I
deeper.
mean, and to build it up with material, I think we just had to go down to Lingo Creek Road and just the creek and just haul all that stuff and to build it, and then put the millions on top of it. This is gonna be a great start. The cutouts now, I mean, it's, all that stuff's been bought up, now you just don't cut into somebody's land anymore.
Ruben, do we need to get with the city to go ahead and get them, because the deal on the parking lot over at the sheriff's parking lot, police department, was that they were gonna buy the materials and we were gonna do the work. That was the deal we cut a year ago. But it probably takes a while to get the materials. Should we be talking to them about going in?
I think they have it in their stock, what I've seen out there. They have a bunch of base, I mean, it ain't gonna take a whole lot to. And you know what, truth be known, we could probably, grind it up with their little grinder.
Oh, that new thing they bought, that ripper? Yeah,
And then just that zip. Whatever it's called, grinder,
Possible zipper.
I think it's a zipper. A milling machine, the big milling machine?
Yeah.
It's called a zipper. They call it a zipper. It's actually a milling machine.
Yeah.
and I think that would
Shoots
be,
up the asphalt.
I think you could just. Do that and then lay it right back down and be done. Right?
Pretty much.
All right, the maintainer on North County Road, did you have a chance to look at that?
No, sir, but I talked to Ruben about it and he thinks it belongs to.
Charlie. Western.
Okay, well, I got a complaint from a taxpayer. It says it's flat, tires are flat, it's been sitting there for
Yeah,
years.
but it's not ours.
It's not ours, but it's sitting on our land.
Our land is the road.
Would you want to wait for me to go by? It's right there. At the
Yeah, I see it.
It's been sitting there for years. If it's on our property,
But we don't have any property.
well, it's at a turnout right there. It's part of the road.
Okay.
Now, I don't know, maybe that turnout is on private land.
I think that turnout is on private land. I think maybe Frenchie did talk to the landowner or somebody. Because that's actually the only place that we can haul material to put down on North County. Because there's no actual turnarounds.
So we put county material on private land to store, we store.
Whenever we're working there and then we move it out and it's cleaned up and empty again.
Cause you
Stationary.
can't, you, again, with the people that we have, you can't haul it and lay it all at the same time, so you haul it down there and then you go take the whole crew down there and then pick it up again and move it and then lay it.
Well, if the thing's on private land, all we can do is just ask nicely if it's on.
I'll call Charlie on the way home today and find out if that blade's here.
Yeah.
If not, he'll know who it.
I just want to make sure what the county blade's sitting there.
If, I guarantee you, he'll know who it belongs to.
Okay.
The only time we had a county blade sitting there was when it caught fire. I think.
Perfect. Okay, all right, is that it, Johnny?
No, and then the couple of guys went to work on Lone Star Road.
Mhm.
They had a water truck and a blade out there.
Thank you.
And then, they also came back through to work on, South County Road, the first probably mile, 2 miles needed it. I've got a little bit of a issue with, light bolt lane, but it's being taken care of. I talked to the gentleman about it, and Sarah has too.
No.
We're in the process of that, the guys went up north on South County and they found a big washout that was undermining one of the tin horns. So they fixed that while they were there.
On South County or North County?
No, South County.
South County, on the north end. On the north end.
That's you got.
All right.
What'd you do at Ridgeline?
We fixed they called on the first half a mile going up the hill. It had washed out.
Can I have? Calamity Creek,
It's all until we fixed.
yeah, Calamity Creek, same way?
Yes, sir.
I thought they did their own.
No, it goes up
That's
so
what
far.
Frenchy told me, but
No, they do part of it. Part of it's still the county road.
Mhm.
And then they took back the rest of it.
oh, okay.
Joint custody.
Okay.
So is ours from the highway in,
Yes.
so many miles?
Yes.
Okay.
Like a 2.5, 3 mile stretch. From 118 to the gate, to their gate.
Okay.
That's it.
Well, to add to your misery, all the damn street signs, because they're, I don't know why we made street signs so big, but they're like big sails. And they're all blown off.
Yep.
In double diamond. So I'm waiting for that first phone call. They're all laying on the ground.
See, we can find
A better bracket, yeah.
the bracket that goes down 5-6 inches on the pipe. You know, they just clip on about that far on the top and that's.
I'm still waiting on traffic signs on Tulinga Ranch Road.
We're in the process of getting him a computer
So he's gonna make them all.
and he'll be able to get the printer machine to make signs.
So we can do custom signs. Rough road ahead.
Whatever.
We'll be able to make pretty much anything now.
Yeah, well, speaking of that, I've got to call the tech side. I've noticed that when I go to Riau County, they have these large yellow signs that warn of flash flooding over there. I want to do something similar that says, maybe about Elephant, that says next 50 miles, watch for burrows.
Mhm.
And have it coming both ways.
Yeah, I don't know how much do we have to stick to the municipal uniform traffic code, or if we can write whatever we need to.
Who sets the rules and regulations on the county road?
We do,
We do.
we do.
So speed limit for 20 miles an hour was set by the county?
Most of that 20 is in residential stuff. I think all county roads are 30.
There's some county roads that are like 20 miles an hour, 30 miles. an
The
hour.
buildings have to be so close together to go below 30, so.
Yeah.
So we had that talk about Tulinga Springs Road, whether it qualified or not, and I had to look up the transportation code, and it has something to do with how many buildings are close together in a so many feet stretch and blah, blah, blah.
That's a 20-mile there.
I believe it's 25. But generally 30 is the lowest we can
It's
go,
30 is the lowest that we can make them.
which is crazy.
All right. Thank you, sir. Let's do emergency management.
Thank you, Dan.
Thanks, Johnny. Johnny, buy some glasses, will you? Buy some glasses.
I'll treat you.
I'll give you a pair. I got a bunch of them. All right, James, management.
We're still in drought.
Still in drought. That's good to know.
Yeah. So looking at the map, I know you guys have some maps on your desk. Yours are for May 6th, right?
Yes.
You have
Yeah.
one for April 29th?
No, we have May 6th.
All right, so there was a slight change, nothing for us at all, but we're still dry, but there was a slight change.
A couple areas north of us, just above Reeves, actually receded a bit, so they got a little bit of rain, but we're still in our red. Also, HyperReach has been updated. I've been talking to HyperReach nonstop.
Did you get a HyperReach? We sent you a test.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
Yes, sir.
I've been talking to HyperReach. They gave me administrative access, so now that I can edit stuff and actually take out and put in and update. A lot of people, when they first sign up, which was signed up almost 10, 15 years ago, people change their phone numbers, but they don't change in the system.
Yeah,
So if they want to change their phone numbers in the system, they actually have to sign up all over again for HyperReach. I don't have access to actually edit their information. I can just disable it. That way they don't, the message doesn't go out to a nobody.
Doesn't HyperReach pull in from some central database?
So they are in coordination with a couple of cell phone companies and cell phone towers.
Yeah.
So when on my map, if I take a little bubble and I extend it out, I can reach within that bubble. And I just gotta make sure I don't go over our mapping area and go into Reeves or Jeff Davis County. But that's not hard. You can actually adjust that. Thank you. Thank you.
Did all you guys, did y'all get?
I did get the text,
Jim, did we?
first time ever.
Yeah. Did you get a HyperReach test message recently?
I think so.
I know.
Now, I thought the HyperReach hit everybody in this area, even if you're from North Dakota. If your cell phone was active here, they'd get an alert.
No, unfortunately, HyperReach is only people that apply for it.
Apply for it.
Yeah.
Isn't there another system that does that kind of alerting?
That's through like TxDOT or National Weather Service. They have that capability.
Okay.
And I can call them and say, hey, can you send out this text for me? And they'll do it. It's just a little bit of a.
Right, but I mean, if there's an emergency of some sort and you're a visitor out here, I thought they had a way to notify everybody. But if your cell phone pinged here, they know you're here.
Sadly not.
I had an experience last summer when we went to Ruidoso, New Mexico, the same day that the big fire started. And we could get no information. We weren't getting any sort of text messages or HyperReach anything. What I ended up doing was actually going to the Village of Ruidoso's Facebook page and signing up for their alerts there.
Okay.
So I imagine we have to do something similar. Maybe we can get all the local fire departments, emergency departments to reach out to their social networks and remind people to sign up for this service, because you need it when you don't have time to find it,
Yeah, I'd like to do an initiative, to do a HyperReach initiative. I say that begrudgingly because that's gonna be a lot of me plugging in information, but it's needed. I mean, people need to know, need to have.
So let me make sure I understand this. So to get HyperReach, a person has to initiate.
They have to volunteer for it. They have to sign up for it.
In other words, I have to go in and sign up.
You have to give.
I just happen to have it because you put me in.
Yes,
Otherwise, I wouldn't be getting it because I hadn't signed up for it.
I could go in there and I can create a tab and say citizens, and I can just start listing people that come and say, hey, I want to put on HyperReach. They can contact me directly, and I can put them on that list.
I got the impression that they just went out and gathered the cell data, whether you gave them permission or not, but they don't do that, huh? Well, is this thing worth $4,000 a year?
For those that get it. We have, in Brewster County, we have a little over 2,600 people that are registered.
So a couple of bucks a person.
I could probably, if I do an initiative, we'd probably get more people to sign up for it.
Well, we got free radio spots, man. We maybe put a spot on the air. Can they go to a website and log
sign
in?
up.
Oh, that's how they do it?
You can do it that way.
Because you don't have to do it, man.
Okay, they can either call me or they can go on the website and do it themselves.
All right, well, that's news to me. I was just assuming that they just scooped up all cell phones.
Any active phone in the area.
Yeah, I thought so. There was one of the commissioner trainings, there was a company that made a presentation and it was half lighthearted about how unsecure your phone is. And they did something and 300 phones in that room rang at once.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Robert's got a deal for tourism where we can track people's activity, what stores are going into, what zip codes they're from. We get all kinds of information from cell phones and nobody gives us permission to do that at all.
It's one of the permissions you didn't know you gave them when you got your phone.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's like Patriot Act.
Yeah.
It's Big Brother issue, isn't it, Robert?
Very much so.
Although I would say if there's gonna be a Big Brother, it's more on the, hey, a tornado's about to hit your house.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Probably.
Yeah. Weather related, National Weather Service usually puts that out pretty quick. And when it comes to a natural disaster, National Weather Service is super quick with it, so. They track that.
I know Judge having lived in Jeff Davis and now in Presidio, we all have to sign up for this. It was never a big reach.
Okay, all right, well, let's do some PR on it then.
Okay.
See if I can get our cost per participant down to 2 cents instead of $2.
And last but not least, I was working with DPS, Texas DMV. And there is a scam going around right now. My phone was blowing up with it about paying a $6.99 toll.
Oh, yeah, I've been getting those for years.
Yeah, so
So
don't pay
annoying.
the $6.99.
If you look up that phone number, it's out, mine was out of the Philippines.
Oh, wow.
Just in general, public service announcement, if you have unpaid tolls, they are not going to text you.
They're not.
They will send you a letter.
That's right.
Right.
But the website they have the link to is pretty legit looking.
Do not click any links ever.
Particularly if you're on a county computer. All right, anything else?
No, that's it.
All right, treasurer's report, rock and roll.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So today I'm gonna present my monthly treasurer's report and I'm gonna be reporting on March 25. At the end of March of 25, the total cash on hand we had was $18,781,085. The total interest earned for the month of March was $56,960. And the average interest rate amongst all of our checkings and pools was 4.30%. So as of the end of March, we're halfway through our budget for 25. Just to highlight the general fund and road and bridge, I just combined their revenues and expenses together. At the end of March, our revenues were $5,830,177. Our expenses totaled $4,469,731, which is halfway through our budget. Our revenues are a little bit more than halfway collected. Hotel motel, the revenues as of the end of March was $1,065,964, and our expenses were $591,226. And our property tax collections, we had our budget amount was 4.7 million, and we have, as of the end of March, 411,000 left to collect. The delinquent penalty and interest, we had collected 146,000, and we have about 12,000 remaining to collect from what we budgeted. Our sales tax as of the end of March was $358,308, and that include everything from October to January collections. So we're rocking along pretty well there. Our fees of office, all of our offices are budgeted to collect 130,000 in fees. We've collected 65,000 so far. Our fines from all of our offices, we had budgeted 111,000 and we've collected 64,000 so far. Interest that is owed to general fund, we had budgeted 224,000 and we have collected 221,000 so far. Road and bridge, auto registration, we've collected 144,000 of our $285,000 budget. And our road and bridge fees, we've collected 43,000 of our $88,000 budget. Those were the highlights of my March report.
Let me ask you a question. I got the new Tyler technology.
Oh,
So
did you print it out yourself?
I had help.
Oh, okay.
Trust me, he's
Great.
been playing with it.
But what is WTNB revenue? Budgeted 160,000. What is that?
That is actually interest on bank accounts for the general fund that needs to be renamed. It's an old name that somehow carried over from the prior system.
We've crushed it. We were at 168. We budgeted 160, so we're
Yes, sir.
ahead of budget on that. Okay. And then what makes up miscellaneous revenue public entities? Any idea what that is?
So it's
We
really
budgeted
just
nothing, but we
it's
slung
re-
it.
Yeah, it's really just a revenue line for
Catch all.
the catch-all for like public entities that pay us some kind of miscellaneous revenue. Really, it's a catch-all.
The public, there is a category on there. And I'm not sure, I don't remember exactly how you were printing that out. But if you look at the source, there's like revenue from public entities, revenue to and from private entities, so it breaks it out. But then you should have a detail showing like which governmental entity it's coming from.
Okay.
So.
And then Melinda, when we created the bunkhouse fund
Mhm.
for the Trillingham bunkhouse, I thought we did that with travel money. I thought we allocated 50,000 of the travel money. Maybe but you took it out of the general fund, which is fine right
I thought
now.
we took it out of general. I'll have to go back and look at my notes. I said if we need to
Okay,
take it out of the tribal.
okay. Oh, James is calling. Okay. By the way, satellite phones are going bye-bye. We'll save some money in satellite phones. Satellite phones.
Well, now you have Starlink.
You
That's
got
the new
Starlink, you know.
Tribal and county funds.
Okay. And sales tax, I show 430,000, so we're behind, what, 2 months in sales tax?
Yes, sir.
And so we're in May, so we're still got to receive what, March and April's coming?
Mhm. Yes, sir.
So that's a big number.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you have, love that revenue. Okay. Budget season's upon us.
Yes.
And this year I have Julie and Melinda. So gird your loins. It'll be a fun budget season. Robert.
I actually printed out yours.
What else you got? We need to do the employee
If you could
manual.
vote on my monthly report.
I'll make a motion. We accept the monthly report as presented.
I'll second.
Motion is second. All in favor? May I?
Aye.
All right. Item 26C is in Charlie. So this employee policy manual, Julie and I've cut a deal. She needs an updated employee manual, which she has done through TAC. And that's what you're seeing on your computer, on your agenda.
I can go through some of the things I've updated.
Yeah, I want you
if
to hit a couple of the highlights real quick.
First of all, I updated a lot of the verbiage to like the equal employment opportunity language and all of that stuff. I updated it to include the non-heterosexual orientations and other gender identities. I also made sure that our employee classifications were up to date and specifically for employers that were over 50. So I updated those. I updated the nepotism charts. The other handbook didn't have the charts were blank completely. So there's a chart to include nepotism for relation by blood and relation by marriage. Also, updated the county vehicle usage policy, specifically to include that driver records are going to be checked annually. And we also added verbiage on, how, about cell phone usage and it's prohibited and, could lead to termination and all
You
that
mean while
stuff
you're driving?
while you're driving. Yes, sir.
What is our official, annual check for driver's license? Is it October? Are we doing it in January?
I believe, it's not specified in the handbook, but I think every October, the start of every fiscal year would be a good time to just do it.
Does that apply to employees only or volunteers as well?
Are the volunteers driving county vehicles?
Well, we have volunteer drivers towing the bookmobile. I just wasn't sure,
Uh,
but they've been giving me their reports, but.
I would leave it up to y'all at the
Okay.
Citizens Alliance
Alrighty,
to do that, unless you want us to do it.
I don't know. Do you have access to better records than we do?
No, we're doing the same thing here. We're going to do the Department of Public Safety.
This is what we do too. Then it's the same, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
In previous years, we had approved, separately and, on its own, like a new holiday compensation for law enforcement. If they worked on the actual holiday, they would get compensated. We did away with comp time, previously. We updated, I updated the law enforcement pay to make sure that it's reflected the 207K exemption, which means that, you know, law enforcement is paid on an 86 per pay period basis, and hours worked up to 86 are paid
Great time.
by their hourly rate, straight time. Those had already been approved, but I just inserted them in the handbook because they weren't previously updated. I also updated all the work weeks, the work periods, the pay periods, overtime calculations. I also added, there's a law for, paid quarantine leave for firefighters, peace officers, detention officers. I added all the verbiage in for that we didn't previously have. Those are the main things that I updated.
All right, I'd entertain a motion to accept the employee manual as presented. I think we're gonna come back later in the summer, maybe even make it a little more robust in some places, but this gets. I mean, the old employee manual was written during the Eisenhower administration, so this one needs to be updated.
Yeah.
I move we. go-
There is a resolution. Y'all have
Oh.
that?
It's a sample document. Do you still want them to sign it?
I hear a motion by Commissioner Morrow. Go forward with this. Go forward with the employee manual. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? All right, all in favor of the employee manual as presented, say aye.
Aye.
And then, once, final draft is prepared and it's ready to go, it's gonna be republished on the website. Also, I'm gonna send around, the new policy to all the employees and an acknowledgement form that they've read it and everything like that. So we'll have all those.
All right, very good. Number 27, Brewster County Comptroller.
Okay, so y'all should have in your packets or on your handy little tablets, some new style reporting. If there's anything, we have the reporting coming out of the new system is a little bit different than what you were getting out of net data. So the ones you have, for instance, we had to catch up the bills from during the conversion process and paid all the bills on Wednesday. So you have one report, it's the vendor history report. And it shows everything that was paid this past week, this past week. In order to get the checks that were written and paid for them, there is a check report And then you also have the expense approval report. And the difference there is that it's got the vendor name, the payroll number, the posting date, and then a little bit of a description, and then what account number it is going to. You've got the GL account number on the vendor history,
This is the one.
but it's a little bit easier to see how it all summarizes on the expense approval report. And that one, if you look through it a little bit, you'll see that it is also subtotaled by fund. So you have all your payables by fund. So if there's anything that you're wanting to see different, let me know, and I will see if I can find a report or a way to format a report to get that to you. Our next round of checks, Patty is working on getting the invoices input. So we will pay not today, but we will pay next Tuesday. And then after, back on our weekly schedule.
Back on the get it by Wednesday at 5, present it by Wednesday at 5, get it paid the following.
Get it paid the following Tuesday, but she has been so slammed trying to get everything into the new system and learning the departments that we said, you know what, let's just skip this week. We had everything kind of taken care of through the 15th anyway, and then we'll get back on our weekly schedule for next Tuesday. The only other thing I have is a budget adjustment. This is the one that we had discussed the other day, Judge, regarding the repairs and maintenance.
Yes.
And what I have done at this point is I took it out of the general, I took it out of the emergency response budget. They had $7,500 budgeted for repairs and maintenance that they have not used, and moved it into the repairs and maintenance for general facilities. And do you want that in Alpine or do you want that in Marathon?
Can we just make it wherever? Stick it in Alpine, but.
I've got it in Alpine right now.
Yeah, stick it in Alpine, but I might
Yeah.
use it.
But you can use it for something else.
Yeah, so Johnny's budget, we're gonna do a lot of repairs, which we need to do. And so we had a roof blow off the well house at the Marathon Post, and so he needed some supplies to put that back on. So good, this will get us through the rest of the year.
Correct. So
Okay.
if we can get approval on that budget adjustment.
Let's do two things. Let's approve the expenses first. I entertain a motion to approve the expenses as presented.
Is that the same as general bills?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm so moved.
Motion to approve the general bills, i.e. expenses as. I'll second. Second, any discussion? All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, second item is I'll make a motion to make a a budget amendment or line item adjustment?
It really is, it's between departments, so it technically is a budget amendment.
Budget, okay, make a budget amendment to move 7,500 out of the repair budget from emergency response centers to
general.
No,
it's out of Alpine.
Alpine, okay, to general repairs and
For
supplies
Alpine,
for Alpine.
correct.
I'll second.
Motion and a second, any discussion? All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Anything else, Melinda?
Just a couple more things. I'm gonna be working over the next several weeks to start putting together and formatting some financial reports that are hopefully gonna be able to present a little bit better information to y'all, and Julie and I can kind of work on those to coordinate. And then this next week, we are gonna be doing the general kind of configuration overview for payroll. And then the following week, we're actually starting to configure payroll, and we have 2 weeks of putting that together, and that's gonna be a fairly intensive process. It's just doing the payroll is probably as big or bigger a job than what we had with the general ledger and the financials. So it's gonna be, and a lot of that is gonna be with Julie as far as, you know, how that needs to get configured, because she handles most of the detailed payroll. So.
Well, for what it's worth, I've been following the Tyler upgrade and very pleased with what we're seeing at the ease of use, and we're gonna start getting good management reports that we can make decisions from that we haven't had in the past because of the old system. So that to me, it's just easier on the eyes if nothing else.
Mhm.
So, okay, all right, nothing else?
That's it for today.
All right, number 28, Mr. Tourism.
Good morning, everybody. We're still rocking and rolling, going along with the end of our busy spring season. It's coming to a close. Things are slowing down a little bit, but I mean, it's not stopped for sure. The slow season has just stretched into a not quite so busy season rather than slow the last couple of years. Our collections came through. We just had a board meeting, so I got the finances. Thank you, Julie, for getting those to me. Actually, through May 6th, I believe it was, our collections were $1,291,433. And then the other 84 cents that were in there, that's through April. So we still have 5 months remaining in the year. You know, if you take the 2 million we got last year, we still have we should, if we continue on, break 2 million again this year. So it should be another really good year for us. It all depends on how the changes and the closures affect us. That's all beginning this month is when it's supposed to change. So we'll see in the coming months, but I still say we should be able to hit 2 million without a problem in the hotel occupancy taxes. The staff just returned from Waco, the travel expo over there, talking to all the TxDOT folks. Aaron will go to California in a couple of weeks for a journalist conference. This is a group that he likes to go to actually, it's kind of the opposite. Instead of journalists coming to us saying we'd like to come here and write a story, we go there, he goes there, he's going to go, I'm not going to go. He's going to go and set up a booth, and he kind of just has their big band. These are the beautiful things that we have available, their stories. And it's a conference where journalists already go, and they come to him and say, like, you know, that looks like I could fit. I write for National Geographic. I write for, you know, whatever it is. And they kind of make that connection. So this will be for 2026 journalists that come in that we actually vet. We get a lot through the state, but these are ours. So he'll be heading to that in a couple of weeks over in California. And then the two of us will be heading to Chicago in about a month for the big IPW, the international conference where it's not just journalists, it's also technology companies like the one that has that great, very big brotherish self-made data, things of that nature. So we'll talk to those folks, and that'll be in Chicago. We did have the board meeting on May 7th. The board approved a bylaw, so that's coming up here shortly for y'all to approve. Lots of changes on our board due to changes in the tourism community around here. One of note is Tracy Garland, who was in charge of the Chisos Hotel and also the Big Bend Station. She's no longer with Aramark. So according to our bylaws, they have to have a seat on our board. So we're going to figure that out. I believe it's Mark Tinney. I believe that's his name. The district rep, the one who's above that in the Aramark Corporation, above the regional managers here. He's going to decide who's going to fill that spot. You know, we think we know who, but we don't want to say anything yet. Well, I want to ask him, and we'll figure all that out by the next board meeting, which the board should meet at the end of June. I believe they selected a date. We're just waiting on a quorum for that. Forgive me, I'll look it up so y'all will know. We are hoping for June 25th to have a board meeting again there, and we'll solidify all of our board members, and I'll bring you that change. We just approved the board members, but yeah, life happens. So people have moved on or changed their positions. So we're going to have to reshuffle the board a little bit to make sure that we adhere by the new bylaws, but we'll have that for you hopefully in the next coming sessions, the next couple of months. The marketing committee has been selected, so I know budget time's up for y'all as well as us. At the moment, today, it's been a Monday, Tuesday, all of our emails are down, ours. We use 365, we didn't use a county address, we use @VisitBigBend. So I couldn't pull up the name, sorry about that, can't access anything in there. But it's been set, their first meeting is Thursday, and we've already called IT to check and see what's going on with our emails. But they'll meet Thursday for the first time, and they're pretty sure they'll be able to have the budget to you guys in the time frame that you have allotted. And I believe that's about it for the office stuff. I had actually one question. When will the training be able to take place on this new software? Any ideas for
Actually-
department heads, et cetera? We had mentioned that before.
Actually, we have sort of put that on hold
Okay.
until we get a little bit further into it. I think we're just going to kind of keep it essentially the same way it is.
Okay, sure. So we request and we'll get those.
So,
And
yeah.
we weren't even aware that we could get POs again. We weren't,
Yeah.
we were kind of without the loop, so we've been holding on a bunch, so y'all gonna get a whole bunch today. It's just
Okay.
telling you that right now.
Send them over.
Okay.
I thought we had said that we could
Yeah,
do
we
POs.
had no idea, yeah, so,
So,
okay, good
yeah,
deal.
we can get
Well,
those
we'll have a
out.
bunch, so then it'll be fine, but we'll
Okay.
continue on and we'll go that. When it does come about, I'd like to be one of the first departments if possible,
You're on
be
my
talked
list.
on there.
yeah.
So we can get that chart of accounts. We're gonna do the marketing committee differently this year based on the chart of accounts, so it's just advertising rather than.
Right, but
Yeah, pigeonholing it, et cetera, like that.
yeah, and I've got some stuff printed out that I gave to the judge the other day. I don't think I've gotten it. over
Perfect,
to
yeah,
you
even
yet,
that, we don't really need access, it's just the new account names.
But as far
really.
as the purchasing, procedure, I think we're gonna keep that the same.
Great.
Probably at least through the start of the new year.
Okay.
So that people in the finance office can become really familiar with the software before we start pushing it out to the individual departments.
Sure, no problem. We were figuring out
Because
this
it-
fiscal anyway, honestly, yeah, for actual access. Okay, great. Yeah,
But
that
we-
was just
we
the only
will let you
question
know.
I had.
Robert, what I told, Linda Walker on her budget committee, I want her, go ahead and, they get into the weeds, they get into the details.
Yeah.
So go ahead and put that on their spreadsheets and get specific, I want to spend this much money on billboards. And then once that budget comes in, Melinda and I will massage it into the county's budget. So we don't want to have, we're not going to have 700 different sub accounts,
Yeah,
but y'all should know what you are, so that you want to spend this much on billboards. That's great for your own internal use.
yeah,
And then we'll
Gotcha.
mash it together after y'all get done.
perfect. That
Yeah.
sounds great. And that's it. Yeah.
All right, so we have, let's see, item 28B, there's a set of bylaws. We went through the bylaws last week with the Tourism Council. They passed those bylaws. There's just some tweaking, just for the court's knowledge. So Bill Ivy has taken what I would call a leave of absence.
Yeah, no, if
Is
you
that
wanted
the
to
best way to
address that.
describe that, as chairman of the tourism board. And I'm gonna assume that role for a short period of time until he works out a few things in his personal life that he needs to get straightened out. And so Bill's gonna stay on the board, but he just does not have the time bandwidth to take care of that. It wasn't that I was dying to be the chairman, but there wasn't anybody else that's gonna step up. So given that I had 32 years in the business, I kind of understand it. So we're good there. One of the things I've asked the budget committee this year to do that I haven't really told you is I want them to come up. I don't know what it is, Robert, but I want to have a line item called local projects. And I want to see some of the dollars that are, tourism promotion. I'm not talking about, you can't put in there, I want to build a new road or do my, wastewater treatment plant. But something where it stays in the communities of Marathon and Terlingua that might enhance our tourism visitation. And I don't know what that is. But, it could be everything from signage, like welcome to the Big Bend and arrows pointing where, to whatever. I want to see some of the dollars stay in our local community that enhances our community's outreach to tourism. Maybe it's beautification. I don't want to dictate it, but I want to give them some thought to that.
Great.
What's the latest on the basin opening back up?
As far as we've been made aware of, it will be August now that they will close. The bid hasn't even been issued as of yet. It will not be July 1. That has been moved. It will be August. And it was kind of, they don't know exactly, but it was dancing around late August. It had been mentioned August 1st. It was kind of like, probably a little bit later. But with the bid not even having been out right now, it's still very much so up in the air. It will happen. That's for sure. We just, the date is still not exactly set. Yeah. And it will be a 2-year project. And just supposition with the delays already, it may be a little bit longer than 2 years, so it just depends. It's still very much so up in the air, especially with the changes of leadership up at the park as well. They've got a new superintendent and a bunch of other folks who are the lead, so to speak, on that project have retired. They had the option to retire and they took that. So yeah, lots of changes. So we're kind of in the weeds, but right now it's just Augusty.
somewhere in there.
So are they gonna wait, they're not waiting till August to actually close the basin, that's the project start date? Or are they closing it ahead of time, or?
As we were told, it won't close until.
Until they
the-
start.
The gates are there to close it, yeah, so
Okay.
until August. Now, the hotel is a different story. I didn't
They
get
can
I don't know
still
if you got a
take-
firm answer on that. I didn't see a firm answer as to when that lodge will close. But the basin will be open, because I'm assuming the campground will be, the store is going to be closing as well, but you'll still be able to have access to go out there. But the hotel is a different story. I haven't got firm from Aramark, but she did mention the date, yeah, in it's gonna.
They're having a brain drain at Park, the superintendent's leaving, chief of interpretation's retiring. So there's some upheaval at the park because of all that's going on in Washington, so we'll see what happens. Rick Jutman is now the superintendent of the park, which is a good thing. No, he is the superintendent.
Wow.
Yes.
When we had somebody in the wings like Rick. They go.
And he's a good partner to us. He comes to not just our board meetings, but the Texas Mountain Trail board meetings as well. Travels to El Paso for board meetings. He's gonna be a good one, I think.
Yeah.
I make a motion, we accept the bylaws as presented in the packet.
I'll second.
All right, motion is second to accept the bylaws as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right, what's drink, tea, and travel?
All right, my typo on that one. It's not drink, comma, tea, comma, travel. It's drink tea and travel. There's no comma in there. It might make a difference in your approval or not. It's not like they're a bunch of bourbon drinkers, something like that. It's drink, tea, and travel. This is a group that Aaron actually met at the other journalist conference that he went to in New York earlier this year. They caught his attention. They travel all over the place. They're actually based, I believe, in Ontario or something like that, but they're rarely ever home. So they have US banks and all that good stuff. So easy to pay them. It's basically an influencer that's coming down to kind of, we had hoped to write about the closure in July. So now we're going to change his narrative just a hair to say sometime this summer, et cetera. And it's coming down again to kind of show what else you can do. We're going to focus him on Marathon and Trilingual, the heat is the areas outside of the park, but they will have a full day in there. So they're just coming by, a bunch of journalists, or actually a couple of journalists, two journalists, a photographer, a videographer, and then his actual wife who writes, who does the actual text writing.
Now, they're influencers, so they're not like professional journalists. I don't know if that affects their visa status. They have to get a work visa to get paid in this country.
Yeah, because they have a bank in the US. So we had that issue with the Canada thing earlier. Yeah, I'm not writing a personal check and our journalists saying, nope, we ain't doing no international business anymore. Yeah.
Are we able to get a W-9 on them?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we've already submitted on that. We have a PO.
Okay, we've done it.
Yeah, that was before y'all changed software. Yeah, they gotta get a US W-9. I'm not dealing with W-8s anymore. None of that.
I've had some friends who got,
Mhm. Yeah, there's a workarounds, but they're just more hassle that we need to. We have plenty of US journalists, particularly Texas journalists that we can bring in. He just brought in a family group from El Paso that did remarkable for us. We had no idea that we're just down the road. Yeah.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve that contract.
I'll move to approve the contract.
Okay, motion.
I'll second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? All in favor to approve the drink, tea, and travel contracts, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, all right. Then blues on the green.
Yes, sir. This one was not in our firm budget that we presented. It is the concert series that we've done for many, many years in Austin. We did not last year because they were going to cancel it. And they came back and they canceled it. It's not good business. Well, they're back firm, and I kind of put it on the side. We have an allocation in our budget for its expenditures where we think it's a good one that we just didn't know when they set the budget last year. So we have the funds for it, but I want to bring it to court here because the only reason I'm considering this again is they've changed the dates for this concert series to August, when the closure now is set to take place. It was, these concerts were going to take place in a couple of weeks, and I wasn't really worried about it. But now with the changes, it seems like the best messaging we can do is face-to-face, people. This is a free concert. It's totally free. Us, along with HEB and a bunch of car dealers or whatever, we sponsor it so that it's free for the public. But they get 10,000 folks a night because it's Austin, it's Zilker Park, it's just a fun event and it's free. But at least that way, if people actually have questions, because Austin is still a very good market for us. It has dropped to third behind Houston and actually San Antonio, but it's still really important. It's by a fraction that they're number 3. This is a way we can actually get some firm messaging in August, have 2 days of concerts and at least hit 20,000 people in Austin with questions directly. We'll have the backdrop of the stage as always, so it's a big picture of the Big Bend, and we also get radio and digital advertising with it as well. So the other thing is that they've come down about 15 grand from where it was before. The nice thing is, yeah, that was the other thing. We're not going to pay $40,000 to sponsor this thing, and it's just not. But they knocked 15 grand off because I expressed that to us that we were very disappointed last year in the back fourth. So it's 28, I believe, and some change. Sorry, I couldn't access my email to get the exact number. But that's about 15 grand less than it used to be for the sponsorship of this. So I think it's a good deal. But I wanted to come to the court to ask that. I didn't have it on the agenda to put it on for our board meeting before I knew all the numbers, et cetera.
So a little over $1 an eyeball.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's a big event. It really is. The community of Austin is supported. It's gone on for over 28 years, I think. So they know that series and they come, the Austin folks.
I'll make the motion to approve the Blues on the Green concert sponsorship.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, motion and a second.
Apparently.
My turn, apparently.
Motion and a second to approve the Blues on the Green contract in Austin. Any discussion?
Jim did.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Robert.
Thank you, folks. Appreciate it. Gonna go
All
try
right.
and figure our email out. Thank you.
Number 29, this Commissioners Court will go into closed session for a few minutes. The Brewster County Commissioners Court will recess into a closed meeting referencing section 551072 of the Government Code, which states a governmental body may conduct a closed meeting to deliberate the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property if deliberation in an open meeting would have detrimental effect on the position of the governmental body in negotiations with the third person. This court will recess into closed session. We'll be right back.
I know I moved and Calando Westerman. Are we keeping score?
What were you saying about Westerman earlier? Oh,
It was, he
you
needed.
ready, Leah? Okay, this commissioner court now is back in open session. And we'll discuss number 30, review, discuss and take possible action regarding real estate matters discussed in closed session. I'll make a motion that we accept the contract for $125,000 to purchase 0.52 acres in Marathon, Texas, along Highway 90 for the purposes of building a visitor center for tourism.
I'll second the motion.
Motion is second. This is approval to enter it for the judge to enter into that real estate contract effective today. Any other discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Fantastic. Thanks, guys. All right, next meeting is May 27th, 2025 in this courtroom at 9:30.
I move we adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion adjourned. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. This court is now adjourned.
7:31.